Namaste. The divine in me greets the divine in you. Welcome to this week's episode of Sunday Sadhana. Today we meet an enthusiastic young Hindu group from Cape Town who are putting their master's teachings into practice while still enjoying the cool vibe of the Cape community. On a more serious note, we are moved by the sheer courage and tenacity of a man who doesn't let life's challenges get him down. So sit back and enjoy your Sunday Sadhana on SABC2. Ever since he was a little boy, Tony Chetty knew he was somewhat different. With a lot of faith in his guru, he has today emerged as a successful music specialist and is sought after by famous musicians for his skill with traditional instruments.
I'm by birth a spina bifida, which is my disability. From childhood, grew up amongst 5 other brothers, no sisters. And the advantage I had that my family never treated me any different to the rest of my brothers. We all were treated equally, which was my advantage, that I was able to live and grow up in a normal environment. With all my obstacles, spent most of my childhood in hospital. Music actually started in me from about the age of 5, when I grew up being a challenged person, that I lived most of my childhood in hospitals. I lived amongst the children which were Zulu speaking, and I spent so much time in hospital that in a year I must have sometimes only spent a month or 2 at home. And with the result, I couldn't speak English. I could sing and speak Zulu fluently. If I came home, if everyone spoke to me, I would speak in Zulu. So with the result, my vocal cords started to develop because I used to scream my guts out in singing in Zulu language. So from there, my vocal training started as unintended, but through singing from a childhood days. What drove me to go and specialize in my field at the moment, there were a time when I first started getting interested in restoring musical instruments. There were a family member that gave me a gift of an old instrument. So that old one was so bad, so much so that I couldn't use it until I repaired it. So I started experimenting on that thing, and the way I finished it up, that thing sounded like original condition. Another friend came up and said, you know what, if you can do that, I'm sure if you went and approached these people that restore musical instruments for a job, probably they'll give you a job and train you. With that in mind, I went to at that time, quite reputable music shop. The gentleman looked at me and said, you want to repair musical instruments? I said, yes. But he said, no, it's impossible that you would be able to work on musical instruments. I said, no, because how would you be able to carry the instrument? How would you be able to move the instrument? I said, no, I can do it. And then he blankly turned down and said, no, I don't think you'll be able to do anything. With that challenge in mind, I went back home. From then on, I challenged myself to say that no matter what, if I put my mind to do something, I must do it. I believe if you feel mentally you can do something, you push the body to do it. There isn't anything that can push you down to the level and say that I can't, and this is my last resort to beg. So this is all in the mind. But that is also, remember, because of the spiritual background, that your mental state, with the power of God, you can conquer anything.
The BAPS Shayona group have long been strong propagators of a healthy vegetarian lifestyle. Recently, their group in Cape Town decided to match their spiritual injunctions with a bit of charm, taste, and business flair.
I was actually a member in Durban. So when I moved across, I still kept Bapa in my heart, and I kept Swaminarayan Bhagwan at the forefront.
Bhagwan Swaminarayan, he had also revealed these teachings, and it was founded by Sastriji Maharaj in 1907 as the Pocha Sanvasi Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Sanstha, BAPS. And BAPS is founded as a social spiritual movement with its teachings rooted in the Vedas.
There are some lessons that cannot be taught at any academic institution. There are some lessons that can only be taught by a spiritual master. Our Guru, Param Puja Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he teaches us these life lessons every step of the way. And he strongly encourages all devotees to perform seva or selfless service.
Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he has taught us to be completely selfless in everything we do. And one of his core sayings is that in the joy of others lies our own. And based on that, I think we can always imbibe that by completely giving ourselves up selflessly. We can make others happy, and that is what is truly fulfilling.
Shayona, derived from the names of 3 spiritual teachers, has at its root the objective of serving the community and promoting a healthy vegetarian sattvic diet.
Well, the concept of Shayona has been inspired by His Divine Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and it is with his blessings only that we have managed to open one in Cape Town. And with his guidance and strength that he has given us, that we as a small group have been able to manage to be able to build a Shayona and have it be successful going forward.
We feel like we're fulfilling a need in Cape Town because there isn't any other pure vegetarian outlet that serves such a variety of foods.
It helps to make people aware of that a vegetarian diet. It helps them to be aware that there is a lot of variety in vegetarian foods. And that is one of the key things behind Shayona. It also allows us as a group to be able to offer service to the community, and also at the same time creating jobs and sustaining people of the community as well.
Vegetarianism is something that you can find in the Vedas. It's something that's handed down to us from the rishis and the sages. I think the ambience is great. This promotes that feeling of unity, and also anybody that walks in through the door will sense the peace. There's a huge spiritual element. There's a huge element of devotion in it. And we hope that when people come in and taste our food, they'll also feel that love.
Love and devotion are key ingredients of this community initiative. And sattvic food, pure and wholesome in nature, is freshly prepared on a daily basis.
A sattvic diet allows us to calm the mind. It allows us to attain a higher state of being. By what we eat is so much of what we are able to live by. And it helps us to reach all these goals.
The way this seva has actually changed my life is that it teaches me humility, and all of us unite with the common goal of serving society.
One of the key principles behind Shayona is to make everyone aware of the progress that we can make as a community when we all work together, to uplift the community spiritually, to make them more aware of a purely vegetarian diet and to also help those less fortunate. The personal fulfillment that we have all managed to achieve by being able to do seva at Shayona and being able to do seva in the mandi is something that's really left an indelible impression on our lives, and it's truly fulfilling.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope that we have left you spiritually enlightened by today's stories and that we have warmed your hearts until we next meet. But before we say goodbye, we'd like to leave you with this inspirational quotation from the Swamini Vato. Just as one can never catch one's own shadow, so in the chase for sense gratification, one can never experience fulfillment. It is only when spiritual knowledge dawns does inner peace prevail. From everyone here at Sunday Sadhana, Vanakkam. Have a blessed week ahead.